Hello everyone, and welcome to another Arknights Endfield video. Today's video, while I kind of get started here, because it's probably going to be a bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I'm going to lower it down for 8, just so that it's not too loud, because I kind of noticed it was kind of getting little louder than me at times during the last session. So I just gotta remember to switch between those, or I could do it on OBS, but I'm gonna be really honest, it's easier to do in the game than OBS, but it is what it is. So, what is there to talk about? There's a decent amount of stuff to talk about. So the main focus for today's video, if it isn't already obvious, it's going to be the Umbral Protocol shenanigans, the new in-game content, and technically I could go into it and play it. This will be a how far can I go experience with the ragtag crew I've built up. I'll kind of go over the accounts to an extent, because I think I can also go and look into my storage, just to kind of showcase where things are currently and what have I kind of been doing. I did get far enough into the main story to get to level 3, unlike last time. And of course, level 50, unlock the unique theme thing. This is a lot more expressive than normal Arknights, because while there's like the home menu theme and like that, when you go into like the main menu, you don't really look at your profile card at all, or most of the time you don't really, unless you like you're changing however you use for friend support, or your friends, or looking at your friends for whatever reason. For the most part, I don't tend to see my own profile card or other people's, so it's not like a necessary thing to buy those themed profile cards in normal Arknights. Endfield is different because in the main menu, you kind of get the feel and theme from it straight away, bitch slap. It has more of an impact in this game than the other. There's some other things I do want to mention, but this is just something that I thought of it, I might as well mention. So this profile theme, there's a lot to say when it comes to this, but the fact that there's a lot more changes to it, I love it if it wasn't for the fact of how they go about it. Pretty much, it's enough that it's like, ooh, it's just nice. Just as a showcase, I go back to normal, because I think most people tend to normal. This is like the normal, how it looks, yellow theming to it. But this is more of a, instead of silver and yellow, it's more of a blue variation to it. This one's pretty nice. I'll probably be using it from now on. But there are a lot more, probably for some people that may or may not know. The only way to get more is by event scenario, the protocol pass, or max potting 6 stars. This is where I kind of get to like I like the look if it wasn't for the fact that it's max pot. And I already kind of briefly explained how much it was to guarantee a character rough one session. A lot of things have changed since then. The fact that there's been so many leaks going out of what the next patch set of characters are going to be, which completely changes how we look at things of how characters are released. I don't think it's going to be always a set amount. It could be 1 character, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4. At this point, there's not really a set amount. Plus reruns, we have to take into consideration reruns as well. How are they going to go about that? There's a lot to take into consideration when it comes to the release of characters and re-release of specific past characters that, it's not set in stone, essentially. But aside from that, I actually do like that it's a bit themed. You don't really get to see everything, of course. At least the main profile here. And each one having different sets of color, just kind of a theme color around the profile card. It looks like this one. I like this light purple-esque coloring. I think the other one I really liked. I don't mind her, the cyan-esque coloring, but I think this is probably my favorite one so far, like the deep dark red. And probably one of the more likely ones to get if I get lucky enough getting enough fuck. Anyway, so while the free-to-plays are more likely to get, it's kind of eventually it's going to be pick your poison at some point, because this is probably one of the 5 you're going to get most likely before any specific character, unless you whale. And yeah, that's the only way to get these is by max potting. And this is where it's like, I get turned off. It's like, I predicted this before I even realized it was a thing, because I didn't really look into this yet. Because there was no point into worrying about it, and so I just finally got this. I was like, oh, cool. And then I noticed all of this, which was like, yay. So it's not just the ability to get arsenal specific, or not arsenal, but like a specific exchange token to get 6-star weapons for the freebie standard characters. But you can also eventually grab the theme, so it's not like you can't really get a max pot theme profile card. It's just, it's very limited, and you're more likely probably not going to get it. Let's just be real here. And I feel like this will get really, I want to say, suffocated? I don't think suffocated is like the right word I want to use. But I feel like it's going to be so many at one point that this is going to clog this up. So hopefully that they change this. I don't know why they didn't think about this long term of like 6-star part variation, protocol pass variation, and then doing specific stuff, unlocking situation. Anyway, it's something that they can eventually get to. If they do another survey, this is one of many things that I want to mention, at least that I think up at the head of my mind. If hopefully I can remember writing some of these things down, which I'll probably get around to here just in a second. Okay, I made sure to write it down. I'm not going to show it completely just because I don't think I want to see me putting down Minecraft-related stuff. Anyway, so that's something that next time I can bring it up, and then I'll probably put at least the things I thought of to be into Arknights Endfield for that they could change and work on. I think they could definitely change the UI here, something similar to like a folder system that it collapses the others, but the one you're into expands. Type of thought process I probably would suggest as an option, unless they could think of something better. I think that'd be better looking long term, and it wouldn't clog so much because I already have to scroll down. Honestly, they probably could go even further. So the idea of there being progression, then the protocol, and then pot 6. They could even change the pot 6 of. They could add other characters than just 6 stars at the 4 stars and 5 stars. I don't think they will do that. They could. Realistically, I could probably put that in there now. Not now, but I'd probably suggest that as well. I don't think they would, because that would be too much effort. But then again, this is like the only gacha company that has taken some ideas before. So it's not impossible when I do suggest it in the future. I could also just suggest it through their Gmail, but like, I'm gonna be brutally honest, I might as well just do it as a survey. So it's back and forth. If it's really something you guys really want me to suggest, I mean, you could do it too. Let's be really honest. But anyway, so that out of the way, there is one more thing I wanted to mention. During the very first video of Arknights Endfield, I tried out the PlayStation 5, and I came upon several issues of trying to use the PlayStation 5 on PC specifically. Not just in general, like being on the PlayStation 5, but on the PC. Originally, if just as a reminder of what happened, pretty much it would force switch the audio from whatever you had on your PC for the game. It would force it through the PlayStation 5 on its own. No matter how you got your audio from, if it was through your headphones, through Bluetooth, or a 3.5mm connection, through one of your display monitors, whatever it was originally, it forced onto the PlayStation 5 controller through it. At the same time, it would boost the volume because of that. So let's say if you used a 3.5mm head jack through the PlayStation 5 controller, or Bluetooth somehow through the PlayStation 5 controller, the audio would be 2 to 4 times louder. So that's the other issue that came across upon if you were to go about that. Well, I can safely say, with me testing, I think after this update, I didn't get around to testing it before this update because I was doing other things and I kept forgetting, and I finally did it, and it no longer does that. I don't know about the double or quadruple the audio, but the fact that they did fix the issue of forcing the audio switch to the PlayStation 5 controller, because it makes no sense, because if you have a PC set up and you're playing this game with a PlayStation 5 controller, you are most likely going to already have a setup already established for how you listen to whatever you're on your PC, with the monitor, through the monitors that you use, speakers, headphones, whatever it may be. You would have some setup already, and the fact that it said, fuck that, we'll force it through the controller for whatever idea they originally had. They changed that, so that's no longer a thing. That's a good thing. I did eventually get back to the feedback review and saying that, well, I didn't really answer my question because it was feedback / a bug issue, but you did fix it. You did change it, and I think it's a good change, because if you want to play on the PlayStation 5, it will no longer force the audio through it. At least, that's the issue I had at the very launch of the game. Unless they fixed that a lot earlier, but I did not see any of this in the patch notes. I did see a couple of changes / bug fixes for the PlayStation 5 controller, but not specifically this. Very, very specific thing that they didn't mention that they did change that I wanted to bring into attention, that I did get around to doing and testing, and it has not happened to me. So, awesome! Anyway, got some of the interesting stuff out of the way. Also, if you want to friend me, go ahead. If not, that is perfectly fine. Let's talk about, before we get into the Umbral situation, to kind of see how things are going. Even though I'm level 50 account, I guess I could do the backpack stuff first. So, kind of get an idea of where I'm at on top of, like, my characters here. Pretty much, I have random ass shit in here, like this stuff, just because of you have to make certain things for, like, progression rewards, essentially. But yeah, the main goal is I'm not trying to optimize. I'm not at the point to even worrying about optimization, but I really haven't optimized. What I've been doing has been maxing out the items whenever I can. So whenever I get a new ceiling for the items, I have went ahead of the curve and maxed it out. So right now I'm at 20k. Just because of, like, yes, I might be playing a lot, but I'm not bomb rushing through the game, unlike most people. And I think the developers are, I'm going to say this bluntly, I think they're going way too hard in trying to appease the people that played this game so much, to the point where it feels like, for me, taking my time is a detriment. And the opposite of what some people are trying to say is to take your time. Don't take your time, because the developers don't care, it seems like. Just because the given events are time limited, I am not going to finish the dueling or even touch the next area event, because it's not long enough and I'm not nowhere near close to that. And then the current event that you can kind of take place in, you still have to finish the other areas that I haven't even gotten to yet or even went too much into, like the core room. I haven't even touched the core yet. And I'm probably like maybe a quarter into the final area, quote unquote, the final area. I'm just gonna get an idea of progression-wise I'm in. I got to level 3, of course, so hopefully that's a bigger indication. I just feel like that it's too restrictive. Like I'm being chokeholded with resources because I'm not going quickly enough. Oh, you want these? What I'm trying to get at is you want these resources. The thing in front of me saying, "Hey, get faster through the story, get faster through the content if you want these rewards." And it's like, it annoys me, and it bothers me that it's a double-edged sword, but it also feels like it's a bitch slap to players that are taking their time. I understand that they're trying to appease the people that are going through this game with ease, or quote-unquote ease. They don't have they don't have other responsibilities to do other stuff. But the people that really don't have the time to focus, even less, like people that have less time to play this game, are more so getting screwed over than even me. And I feel like I don't have enough time to get to the point of the story to do some of these time-limited event missions. Like, yeah, there might not be a lot of rewards, but it's still freebie rewards, especially the crowns that are supposed to be really good for skill masteries. The fact that this is something I thought about, last night, was why is all these early events not permanent? Seriously. If they're going to be permanent or made permanent later on, just make them permanent right now. This completely solves that issue. Give players a couple of months to actually get to a good point to start doing events. And you're good. This is my biggest issue, honestly, with other gacha games as well. Is like they try this maneuver of trying to get you through the story and hope that you're in the newest stuff so they can get interested in the new characters they release with the events. But they fail to realize that if you're not caught up and you're trying to enjoy and experience what they had prior, you're just messing it up for those players. And you're purposely bitch slapping them for no reason. I guess is the best way to explain it. And I think it's way too punishing to, like, even for like years long in events, for events to be time limited when you have to go through so much. Well, like normal Arknights in that design philosophy, reality, you just have to get through like the 3rd chapter and you're pretty much unlocked everything for the most part, aside from like modules. But modules is more of like an in-game system to power up your characters. There's no events that are tied to it. So it's like, I don't see why they need to rush players to get to Ling. When the game just came out, not everyone's going to be able to do those events right now. You have people that are like way further along than they should be, realistically, but for some reason they probably skip through everything to enjoy everything, and then get bored because there's nothing much to do, when like about half of the community is not even halfway through what that player did. It's kind of really hard to like balance that out, and I can understand that it would be hard to balance it out. The easiest solution is all these early events make them permanent. Let's just be honest here. That is like the best solution. That could fix everything. Anyway, ranting aside about early events in Arknights Endfield, at least long term, I don't know the best way to go about it. I feel like, to me, I don't like time-limited events. That it will take me months just to get to those events because I either have not been playing enough, or I'm a late bloomer, or whatever you could say, and I'm like really far behind in the main story. I have to catch up to a certain point in the main story just to enjoy the new events. Not really fun, not really cool, not really engaging. Turns me off more than anything else. And so I hopefully I don't know what the devs could really do, honestly, because this will become more and more of a problem, especially for newer players that they have to figure out. And then it's like the simplest solution for them at that point is, hey, you'll be spoiled by the story, but hey, you'll be able to play the event. And so it divides even more of players to the point of, do you lose all of this event rewards because you have to spoil your story because it's based off the main story, and that's how like the consistency of like all the events are tied around this current story happenings. Or just do the solution of what Arknights and some other gotchas is, hey, after this point, after you beat through this main story up to this point, everything's unlocked, have fun. Personally, I like the latter option more than the, hey, let's just fuck you with the story, but you can still play it. Personally, I know it might be different for different people if you care about the story, or if you already know about the story, or whatever it may be when it comes to you for the story. For me, it's like, yeah, the game can be fun, but I also want to be engaged in the story at the same time. And a lot of gacha games don't allow both as an option. It's the general issue that Enfield's also partaking in, that the normal Arknights, aside from Enfield, doesn't really have an issue. For the most part. Anyway. Rants aside, when it comes to some of these big gacha games, I don't know what, just place them in there. I get they did do it because some of these you want to use, fair enough. It's just more of a pet peeve, I guess, with this, but that doesn't really matter. Anyway, so, where do we begin, I guess? I am not far enough to really upgrade or work on this sort of stuff, because again, this is tied back to progression, and I'm taking my time. As you can see, I'm getting heavily punished with certain stuff because I take my time, which goes against what other people are saying, that you should be taking your time with this game. It's like, I want to say that, but there's a lot of settings, a lot of mechanics and things in this game that punish you heavily for taking your time. So I don't really agree with that. And the best example, we'll go to events here. I won't be getting into this event. 11 more days. I still have Carly's Fairy Tale. And I cannot get to the 4th part because I still have to do the quarry. Which I probably won't be touching until I get done with the, what's the place called? No, fuck off. The Origin Load Spring. Because I'm focusing on the Origin Load Spring. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty much just getting screwed over, really, and I'm still trying to do other things. So it's like, can I not? Please? Anyway, okay. I know, I keep ranting about it. But, aside from that, let's look at the characters that is up to use, up to offer. I'm not one of those characters that maxes out instantly. Especially with this game, that I think it's more better to focus all over than to single. But that's not because of using multiple teams, because you have to use multiple teams like in other big gacha games. It's for the variety of options I could use to tackle the content. We are not... I don't know about the Umbral event, but so far that is not the case yet for the other consistent events or game modes that you can do, or the main story yet.
Still waiting for something?
So I like how it goes to Administrator instantly, but let's kind of go over it. So some characters level 40, but that's just mostly because of the missions more than anything else. So at least when it comes to like the main characters I'm using, they are mostly max of their potential aside from levels. So for example, the thing here, when it comes to, he has like a kit that I think works for him at this point. And then the ability matrix, as much as I could up to this point. Even though I'm at level 3, you still can't get the tier 2 materials yet for some reason. I think it's still locked behind progression of the main story. So you get to like the level 3 and you get higher levels, but you can't actually E2 until I think you get further into the story. Even though I feel like both should be happening at the same time, unless something's wrong with this game, and there's some glitch that's currently going on that does not allow me to get the higher tier Elite 2 materials. For example, I need the tier 2, and I've gotten them on the off chance from other ways, not from these gathering sites. So I assumed I would start being able to get these red bullets with the pink bullets, but that's not the case, and I'm still kind of up in the air of where to get them. And I can't actually farm them in Dejong because I don't have the blueprints to do so. So, kind of getting an idea of, again, where I'm at.
Let's go over the battle plan once more.
And the 6-star weapon that I chose the best I could, because I haven't gone for any other character's weapon from the weapon banner. I'm saving for limited only unless I have a surplus. Then I'll be using them when I get the off chance, unless I just wait until I max pot the characters.
Over here,
Shin! Just gonna get an idea. I'm not gonna show every single thing.
Wanna come snowboarding with me,
And
Enderman?
then her, which I don't think I've. Yeah, it's just that one skill, but I don't really use that skill honestly. Like if you're soloing the defender, it would make sense to use their skill, but it's really hard to justify trying to use the defender. Her only use at this point is using her E skill when I'm low health, and then using her special for like that extra freeze, so I could do that destruction effect with Frozen. Solidification, I believe it's solidification, or whatever it is that when you destroy it. Shadow effect, that's what it was. Yeah, shadow effect. So the only reason it's for the shadow effect, it's one of the only few ice characters where she can put characters to solidification by herself. It's only with her skill though, hence why I don't really use her aside from just the fact of potential heals. Could I switch out for someone else? Sure.
Leave it to me.
But this team's worked, so I'm not like too bothered.
Wanna come snowboarding with me, Enderman?
Now there's other teams that I quote unquote build, but they're a lot less on point.
Originally
Aside from
a more
England, which I
path
kind of
for us.
use up to a certain point.
Where are we headed?
Averina's kind of built.
Ciao! Wanna head out for a
Good
walk?
Berta, obviously,
Colors of the
if
sky
you have
look
not seen the Head Up
absolutely
session,
fabulous today.
spoilers, I guess. But I built her to the most. I kind of did for her, but I'm not really using her. I could, I
Sunny
should,
for this
but
day
I'm
as
not.
well, Professor.
Arknights kind of built.
Contemplation.
All of the characters, by the way, are level
Cool.
20.
A strong
Just
team
as a fair
is one
point
without
to
any
mention.
weak. Operator program. Standing by.
So at least the characters that I could be using, I probably could change her weapon, but she's decked out with armor.
The path
Same
ahead
for her, I could change
has
her
been
weapon.
revealed.
Same thing for
Ciao.
Gilberta,
Where are
and
we
then
headed?
Verena. So at least there's these two teams that I have like the idea of using. The others are just experimentation or thought process of. I can show this on teams here.
In position and standing
So
by.
this is kind of the main team right now. This was like my pseudo solidification until I realized that I need some other effect. So I'll probably change out Snowshine with someone else. I just haven't really gotten around to it. Who, I don't know. Maybe I'll do some funny shenanigans like Wolfguard. I know. An idea, but just throwing out a random ass elemental damage character. Just thought of him. And then of course we have the electric with Gilberta team. Honestly, this last one could be switched to something else for whatever you fancy. Ardelia, Gilberta, Fuckboy if you really want to go for him, or some other elemental character like Wolfguard. Just something that works with a main elemental electric team. Arena is probably going to be a main damage dealer. You could still use her. It's going to be a little tricky trying to manage her, whoever you mainly play as. Like, for example, with Gilberta. Gilberta would be easier to use to... Like, whatever you're playing, it's going to be obviously easy to use to control and especially control the battlefield, like with the example of Gilberta being able to bring in enemies, a lot of the less heavier enemies together. I think Gilberta is fun with this team, and this is essentially my second team at this point in time. I knew, like, Arena being, like, the main damage dealer and kind of being with what I ended up getting a bit of Arklight, getting Arklight and getting a bit of pots for her, as well as, kind of at this point, Max Pot, Perlica. Just these three alone, and then whatever you choose for is probably gonna what most people will have as a team. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the developers do, because I do feel like developers are trying to throw a wrench into this, because everyone's doing this. Not in a bad way, they'll probably do something different that might push players somewhere else. But right now, this is kind of like the main core three of this free-to-play friendly team, being Arena, Arklights, and Perlica, and then someone else. If you're interested or curious, yes, people are soloing the event on the hardest difficulty with let me just switch out.
Since you're around, we're definitely catching.
They're soloing with
something
Catcher
today.
and just Catcher. So, like, if you're good enough at the game and if you're maxed out Catcher, you can solo the new event. So yes, I've been seeing videos of that happening. So, just saying. I'm dying. But just saying. Yeah, you don't have to worry about building a maxed out team. You can just build out a maxed out character. If you know what you're doing, you can solo. And you can probably beat the event. Anyway, will I be able to? Dealing with level 90s, I'm probably going to get stat checked real hard, at least on the harder difficulties, and get absolutely blasted. That is the most likely outcome. But if I can dodge everything, I probably won't still be able to do it because it's a DPS check as well. But it's permanent. So, we'll see. And that is the point of today's video. I'm curious to see how far we get into the new event. I know I just yapped and yapped and yapped, but I feel like there were some important points that I wanted to note and talk about. I don't know, it's already been 30 minutes, goddamn. Anyway, so let's get into the event. This will be my first time. I have to go to the hub base and talk to Sergio. And that is, okay, that's an elite. Cool. Let's just, teleport. When I get the upgrade to the zip lines, I will be changing all the zip lines I have currently to the upgrade versions. Because supposedly you get, like, further reach. So that's why I haven't been bothering with zip lines. I did at some point, then I just stopped. And it also doesn't help that with, like, a lot of zip lines I did use so far with some other players. So, you know. Also, a unique little thing, if you dash twice, there's a unique animation for the second dash. So, for example, Fuckboy rolls in the air. What's the rank? What I want to use? Spin jump? I don't know. Not really cartwheel, but it perform like you see this a lot with a lot of parkour people. Some of those parkour videos of like, there's at one point I was watching a decent amount of parkour videos of like real parkour versus AI auto-generated videos, and then seeing who's better. I don't know if you've seen some of those type of videos, but yeah, this is kind of like the parkour moves that you would probably see. And then of course, Arknights uses his whip to go faster. So yeah, both are pretty cool. The thing that I don't like is that the administrator doesn't have one, because he's a 6-star. He doesn't get fair treatment, or she. Unless I can even realize this is here. Okay, I went over here, but I guess I just never really looked back here. I didn't even see that. Anyway. So I came. I invited every infielder, but I never expected they'd be the first to respond, Edmund. I'm going my first series, the Umbral Monument. What is it? Let me give you a quick intro. I came from a family of filmmakers. Before I joined the infield, I was a director myself. All famous directors usually spot their names in Rankwood. As far as back in the Ancient era, yeah. Rankwood being Hollywood. If you don't know, that's kind of the digital gist. But they also produced commercial flicks for base entertainment. I just looking at the other character there. None of their works depicted their true glory of heroes who face suffering without fear. Unlike the depictions that cater to mass entertainment, I admire the strength that springs from truth and the courage born of real life and death and struggle. This group can't even find a place to stand. Anyway, that's why I gathered real life experiences from field operators to film my movies. I felt the solemn rate of every battle get every actual fought. Now I had the materials that could finally bring justice to the heroes and hope they could be properly evaluated. And a heroic film deserves a heroic audience, and none is more fitting than you would be. Also, that makes me wonder, did they save all those quote-unquote movies? Because I know in the universe of Arknights, there was even one of the events where there's characters going to the movie theaters, and they talked about the movie that they watched, and they kind of get a brief explaining of the movie they watched. And I thought was kind of it was kind of lore, but characterization dump as well for certain characters, on top of it just being a mini game. Well, it was not much of a mini game, but you were able to choose the characters and yada yada yada. But you're able to also see if you did choose them, you'd still be able to see what they said of a certain movie. Anyway, makes me wonder if lore-wise they kept those movies. I would assume they did, but anyway. So please, if you have a moment, about a massive dive for my first series, Umbral Monument. Gathered from the real-life experiences of our field operators. Okay, those forsaken by the land. So this is going to be based around the land breakers. I'm going to assume it's going to be after that, whatever appears in ruling. Didon? Event style-wise, if we're going to be based off of Arknights, I feel like there will be specific event-based enemies we will see in this as well. And they go that route with new event enemies with specific events. It's very likely we could see that happening in this game, if they go that far. So there's only 3 levels. I thought that there would be more, personally, but all of them are level 60. Okay, the massive factory bleached thick, noxious exhaust from its pipes. Who is trying to hide their secrets here? Draw your stand, raise those shields, let howl the tusk piece of war, and heat up the haze. Careful, the mess continues to deals damage to all operators, and the controlled operators receive HP treatment. Other teammates receive 2% of that HP as well. So, the game really wants me to use
Get
healers.
ready.
I don't care. We'll see how much I get destroyed. We'll go to the others and see how I do with those. I don't think I'm going to have enough damage, personally, because it's level 60 versus level 20s to 40s. So I will likely get bitch slapped. Since I feel like they probably expect you to be level 60 at level 30. Oh god. That's the only issue. I don't know if we're gonna have enough DPS. Okay, we're doing a lot better than I thought we were going to.
Might see, but they're
Oh, this guy?
all units incoming.
I faced this guy before. I got defeated. Got defeated, but destroyed. Oh, goodness. Long still.
Once known, be dead.
Tactical maneuver.
Shall face karmic justice!
You gods, formation.
Am I still alive?
Cleave now and flash!
Tactical maneuver.
I'm gonna die. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen. I'm so still waiting on summon and doing okay. I have not really properly faced this character. like the DPS was there. Okay, I could not see what the fuck was going on. Oh, goodness gracious. Like, I was doing pretty good until, like, my character, like, I just didn't have enough, or DPS. Because I probably, if I had enough DPS, I'd be able to kill the boss better. And personally, I haven't really faced this boss properly yet. Like, I have done the train, but, like, yeah, like, there's no way they're gonna be able to. Yeah, I'm just not used to. Okay. Up it is, level 2, low. I was halfway through the boss and got through pretty much everything else with the poisonous mist. I would say that's pretty fucking good. Yes, technically no level, but I think it's a lot more of like just overall stats than no level. I honestly, I don't know what to really say. Specifically that boss, I'm just nowhere near used to it. I was having a hard time trying to deal with it. I didn't lose to it, but I had a hard time dealing with it. So, challenges unlock, new challenge mode. Even though I haven't been in it, I don't know why it's talking about it like I'd be in it. It thought I'd be in it. I don't know. Okay, the con devices give piercing screeches as drone crash into the ground. Wand breakers turn to look as their mumper desires for blessings and vengeance. Behind them stood tall, shadowy figures amongst the forest of den stars. Enemies cannot move, but they are harder to interrupt and continuously gain attack.
Waiting for your orders, Administrator.
I feel like the other team would be better, but we'll try with this team. If it's similar to the others, the other one, I'm probably gonna lose
Li Feng of
to...
Wu Lake, ready to fight!
That's brilliant strategy.
I am not paying attention to what I'm doing. The fact they are ranged, this just feels like a stat check than anything else. It seems like characters like with things would be pretty good this one. Because I can just type all of them at once. I can move them? Okay. That... Okay. I think that is gonna be that. Okay, this archer needs to die.
Shield up.
Become wrath.
Oh yeah, like that one archer actually just kind of screwed me over.
Might see. What the?
I wasn't even paying attention. I thought I was fine. Oh, everyone just died. Oh yeah, it's just to the point where it's like I can't really do much if one character dies, and everyone just died because I just kept shooting and doing damage. Both of these feel like, oh yeah, you need healers, or you just don't do enough DPS, and it's not really a per se an easy heal unless I just go back to lower gear after I kill you get HP. That's like the only thing I can really think of. His worst gear is somehow better because it heals. It just really comes down to, hey, I don't have strong enough characters to do this. It just what it comes down to. I mean, level 60 is not
I want to be the
joking.
first out of the door.
I was assuming it would be a mixture of enemies, but I wasn't expecting them all to be archers. So...
A
Watch
blade
out, this one.
unsheathed, its light unleashed.
They can't handle my lance.
Alright. Okay, now I want to switch.
Watch this. Let me help.
Oh shit. I am not used to that attack.
One sec. Just need a quick read. Watch this. Never seen this?
Okay. I hate that. So much. I am almost dead.
One sec. Just need a quick read. Hey, let me help. It shall be vanished.
All units incoming.
Guess which handle crushed.
Might see. What the? All units incoming.
Feeling better. Once known, be dead.
One sec. Just need a quick breather. Watch this.
Textbook maneuver.
Nice throw. Let me help. Yeah. Ever seen this?
Oh god.
man.
Maestro, let me help. You shall be banished.
Oh, lovely!
Leave now and flash!
Dodging! I hate that. The fact that you take so much damage after the fact. Like the rocks, like this guy does more things than
Once known, be dead.
You gods, formation.
Storm of Frost!
oh, they have another phase? Oh, they work together? Oh, yeah. The other ones seem way more durable.
Better.
Oh,
Tough it out.
yeah, there's nothing I can do. Dodge smartly to evade powerful attacks. It doesn't matter if like the attacks are still there that hit harder than anything of the fucking map. But having two of them at the same time while getting destroyed by one of the two says a lot about the two different bosses. Avoid from the enemy supporting unit. Bruh. Doesn't matter when both of them are on the same field. Plus, I can't really do shit if I'm not even close to the same level. It's giving me different tips now. Okay, so I assumed that level 30 meant, oh, hey, I'll be able to at least do one of them. Right? Right? No? So the issue is you can't gauge of where a player is just by account level. Because I'm at account level 50. So, the only thing I can think of is maybe the elemental team with the unauthorized tactics. The only issue is I don't really have a healer. I don't think I'm going to be able to do any of the missions. Because, again, when it comes to the ruling stuff, I'm taking my time. So...
Ready to break camp on command.
The issue is just stats. It's pretty much a huge-ass stat check. That's all I can really say. We'll try it out with this team. We'll see how this works. I don't think this is gonna work per se.
Stay safe. Let's show together, people.
The only issue... I haven't really used this team enough to really say the best thing to go for. I'm taking damage from that. You're supposed to go over. Oh my god. I gotta love how the one enemy is not... I was kind of hoping that she would work against the mechanic. Oh, it's okay, girl. She's not even for the enemies. Okay. The issue... There we go.
You can't escape this.
Well, captains are dying. This is really just a stack check, really. Oh, there goes the one character I was using. You don't get immunity drain. Yeah. There's nothing I can really do. I did better the other time just because this better stats, better gear. A healer, actually. The fact that we lived so long is pretty insane, but... that are buffing themselves, observe the enemy, and pay attention to the current enchantments. I might be able to do it if there's no, like, boss to it. I might be able to do it with the other team if I can kill what I need to kill. Which then Lefang's gonna be pretty busted. I am tempted to bring Ardelia, just because I actually need the healing. Like, Unorthodox Tactics might be the only one I could probably do. I say that. Yeah, this is a cancerous enemy. Okay. I didn't think about looking at the enemies. That's quite cancerous, actually. I hate that enemy. It's probably the only enemy that I actually genuinely hate. I don't know how much I'm gonna really edit out of this. I don't know if I will take some things out. This is just like genuine first attempts.
Are you ready?
This with
The
like
wildlands are filled with danger.
horrendously low-leveled, low-built teams that I could probably bomb rush through to do something else, but I don't really want to do that.
Endman, you're here.
I am going to... What is this? Oh, it just shows you the mechanics. I guess we'll just... Actually... The idea of using Gilberta to bring in enemies as well together, so you can just do all of them at once. And then Ardelia for healing.
I've readied the prospecting tools, Professor. We can set off
I
anytime.
haven't really used Ardelia much, so this is probably gonna be a horrendous idea. But let's do it! Let's do this shit! Let's see how this works.
We'll end this fight easily. We'll see this through. Better luck
That's brilliant strategy.
Tyranny grants truth. Watch this. That's no more. Now for Paris. That's no more. Watch this. Watch this. Now for Paris. Ever seen this? Let's do this together. That's no more. Now for Paris. One sec. Need a quick breather. That's no more.
Together we will.
Now for Paris. That's no more.
It should help.
Oh god, get out of there!
Cozy up with gravity! Please help, Mr. Dolly!
Got a present for ya.
And you've got me. Wow, you can
Come around. That's my
I feel like it did better the other way around. I really don't have much to say. Well, I could bang my head against the wall, but I don't really think this is doable. Or at least it's possibly doable, but it'd take a lot of banging against the wall to eventually do it. And this Nidra, in its own right, is going to be a big pain in the dick. So, we tried it out. I am not strong enough to do it. And I probably won't get the rewards. Oh, I might be able to get some rewards. Let me check to see here. I did, at least, I guess, get some rewards. At least an attempt. Yeah, deal a total of 1.5 million damage to the enemies. Bigger some materials of your choice. Okay, so it's pretty much just beat these and then try to challenge in agony mode. So, yeah, so trying to do it and then complete of the normal modes. I guess, in a way, it's kind of funny, actually, I did manage to get to a certain point in it, in a way. Like, the developers acknowledge, like, okay, this is probably too early. We still probably could change some things around. There might be some people, like this guy over here, that's, like, doesn't even have level 60 characters because of our weird progression system and how we limit it and be weird or annoying. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know what else to really say. I guess in the future, we'll get back to this, but at this point in time, I'm gonna wait until I get to, like, level 60s, purple gear, skills up to level 7 before I attempt this again. Which I don't think I'll have enough time. I don't think 26 days is long enough, but who knows. And cool. I can actually do my first full weekly, because I was able to do the F-Space salvage for the first time, because I just got to it yesterday, so... And I've been playing since the game launched. So, if you're wondering, like, in terms of how I'm taking my time, you get punished for it, as I've already ranted about. So, anyway, I don't think this is per se punishing, because, like, hey, you attempt to do it, even if you attempt to do it, you get rewards still. So, at least this is doing better than the other events. Yeah. I think this is, like, the worst egregious example, and this right here is the best example of how to do events. Even if, like, these stages are permanent, but at least with these rewards, it's like half of them are just given to you just by doing it. Anyway, I'm probably just gonna end it off here. And I will see you guys. At least when it comes to these stages, I'll get back into do a normal mode and just kind of see the difference between now and with a better built team. It's kind of funny though. Like the first one with the poison isn't really the issue. Like, I was able to handle the poison. It's just the final enemy, the final boss feels like the biggest issue. It's not the poison. It's not trying to get through all the enemy waves to the boss with the poison. It's the fucking final enemy that I feel like is going to be the bigger issue than the poison. But at that point, I should, in theory, be strong enough that, like, even the main team should be able to hit hard and do really good. And I'm curious on what this coming soon's gonna be. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. If you guys did enjoy my attempts on Umbral Monument, make sure to leave a subscribe/follow in the description below is Discord, so please go check it out. Good night, summons, good night, shining, be safe and be healthy, and I will see you all in the next video for either Arknights or Arknights Endfield. And this will be like kind of in between the releases of the Arknights stuff, so anyway, just wanted to end there. Until then, peace.